And listen, I hate to break it to Silent and War Elixir, but that little dream they had about Tidens taking Tiger out for him did not come true.
I still think it gives them hope, though, because Tidens able to break through Tiger, at least take one round. It makes him, vulnerable.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So let's head down to the final match where a couple of inspired players are waiting to take their place at the podium, and the first among them is Silent from Miami, Florida.
Hi, my name is David Sang. My in-game name is Silent. I'm 31 years old. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I work in healthcare marketing. So I volunteer with a nonprofit volunteer organization. I got into it through my girlfriend, and it's just a good way for me to do something different, give back to the community, especially with Hurricane Irma recently. We went out to the west coast of Florida to help some of the people who really, got devastated by that storm. So it's just a nice way for me to get away from the game. I spend so much time staring at my phone. It's just a way to kind of get back in touch with everything else that's out there.
Pretty awesome there from Silent, helping out the victims of the hurricane, summoning his inner philanthropist and not just monsters all the time. And the man who he is going to be facing, his mom calls him Ryan, but we refer to him as War Elixir from Fort Smith, Arkansas.
My name's Houston. I am War Elixir in-game. I am 28 years old. My occupation is I'm a wireless retail manager, and I'm from Fort Smith, Arkansas. Fitness is very important to me because it's just, it's my stress relief, kind of my coping mechanism. I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't work out, I have a high-stress job, and I get off work and go to the gym and work out. I definitely think healthy living has paid off for me. If I'm eating clean, working out, I'm definitely much more sharp mentally. So, I mean, it's definitely, how I get through life.
What would be awesome, since he's a wireless retail manager, if he could summon some additional bandwidth from my mobile device, because obviously we're getting bottlenecked when you play as much as some of these guys do. So he's going to be facing off with Silent here. Guys, who are we giving the nod to?
This is going to be a hard one. I don't know.
You always say that.
It's going to be a really hard one. Both of them are such amazing players. And again, this is free removal. They got a chance to really mix up the teams. Regardless of what we saw, what Clay and I studied the last 5 days, they could have mixed around everything. We do not really know what they're going to do.
Clay?
I'm a little biased in this one.
Okay.
The reason being is because War Elixir is in my guild, so I know him very well. I actually got a chance to practice with him, help him kind of prepare for this, and just give him some different options that people might throw at him. And one of the options was something that Silent's actually putting at him right now, which is the Ganymede-Molon combination. And we'll see if the other option was the Hathor that I was throwing at War Elixir. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to combat it. He was able to win against me a couple times, so I think he still has a decent chance against him.
Feels like a Hathor's coming up from Silent here, or no?
Maybe he doesn't have it, maybe he does, but I think in this situation, Hathor would be a great option. Decides not to go with Hathor, picks the immunity buff instead. Interesting choice, but I like it against the Sierra. I'm not sure if I like it against the Chilling, but overall, you're already thinking about who you're banning at this point, so you could potentially be thinking about just banning out the Chilling right up.
Could depend on War Elixir's last pick as we...
Solid choice from Okeanos there. I really like that going into this team. Okeanos, a huge counter against Veligil, in my opinion, and...
War wasting no time banning that Ganymede. Is that where you would have directed him?
Yeah, I'd say that Ganymede was a good choice to ban out. Either Ganymede or Molong are the two strong options, but I don't know. Silent's team is looking really good, in my opinion. Has the ability to remove buffs, put a lot of buffs on. The only thing that he's going to be worried about is the Chilling, stealing all those buffs away.
Correct. Yeah, it's a pretty balanced comp, it looks like, from Silent, as the Sierra gets banned. So War Elixir, thou shalt not drop bombs.
As we hope.
Let's see who gets that first turn. Is it going to be the Wusa from War Elixir? No, it is Bastet on Silent's side. Bastet getting the upper hand with his Oasis of Blessing here. The attack buff, the shield, and the attack bar increase. We got a silence on Okeanos. Okeanos now can't use his stun, but he can cast the skill onto the opponent. But it looks like Molong has something to say about that, Clay.
Huge stun. It's exactly what Silent needed, taking out 3 monsters, not allowing the Wusa to put up the immunity. So as we talked about earlier, it's a kind of a risk or a gamble to use that skill while having an immunity monster not having gone yet. And Warrior Elixir able to get a nice violent proc away from Jingzhe, does some damage. Not a whole lot of damage on Molong, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it looks like he was going for the stun. Even though he had the choice to use the second skill for the defense break, he went for the stun, didn't get it, unfortunately.
Silent now deciding whether he wants to finish off. The Okeanos does not get it. So Warrior Elixir able to put up a shield now. Let Okeanos live for another day. Unfortunately, it is still silenced, so he's not able to do too much with it. Some damage going down from Bastet. But now here's where Chilling can kind of come into play. Does not decide to remove any buffs. Just puts on the buffs instead.
Down goes the Okeanos.
Down goes the Okeanos, and Warrior Elixir starts working away at the Molong. Does not get the stun. He really needed that, so that way the Molong could not use the 3rd skill against him.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking back on that play with regards to Chilling. Maybe he was trying to prevent more beneficial effects so that Iris could not take away the crucial ones like the shield in order to keep Okeanos alive.
Yeah, definitely a good point there. The only monster now that he's got to really worry about is the Jingzhe with regards to silence strategy going into this. Doesn't have enough health left on the Molong, which is exactly what Warrior Elixir was looking for. Able to resist all the stuns from Molong. So Molong kind of out of the match right now.
Correct, yeah. Even though he has Bastet, unfortunately right now got locked down with Wusa with the 2-turn sleep, I don't think he has enough sustainability to get his life back up so that he can use Molong. And Molong being the big damage dealer when it comes to this unit here, it looks like Warrior Elixir, despite the fact that he only has 3 monsters to 4, has control of the match. Awesome.
But Silent coming in with a huge violent proc from Veljewel, able to bring life back into his entire team here.
Yes.
And I don't know, Warrior Elixir not too happy right now as he's
The tables have definitely...
tilting just a little bit.
Yeah, 2 units are stunned. You've got all that revival on the other side out of Silent.
Down goes the debuffs, and looks like Silent is going to take this first match here. He's going to use the 2nd skill also to stun the rest of the couple monsters. Doesn't get any stuns, but doesn't really need to. Able to take down Chilling, and then Iris able to kind of finish off. Is he going to put up the shield?
I don't know. No, but it looks like he just went ahead and exited out. Game 1 is going to be going to Silent.
So the Say Swag again, homie. Going down 1-0. Clay, it's personal.
I know. I'm rooting for him. I am. I'm trying to stay unbiased, but I am rooting for him.
Now, you said he tilted a little bit over there. Is that really what you think? Was it just, did he fall apart?
No, I mean, you could just see it in his face after one of the monsters was taken out. He's just like, you know, put his head back a little bit, and now he needs to regroup going into this 2nd game. And as we can see, he's taken Molong away from Silent right off the bat here.
Great choice. And of course, Silent's going to follow through with the Ganymede Bastet combination here. I'm curious to see now what Warrior Elixir decides to do. He got about 23 seconds to go ahead and lock down his 2nd round of picks. Wusa, another great monster, is going to combine well along with Molong, considering what the 3rd skill brings, the Reckless Assault. But we're here sitting back, trying to see what he's going to do.
I think Warrior Elixir's pick on Molong first, that was crucial. He knew that he was going to get the first pick in this round, so he's able to take that away from Silent, because Silent, that was a huge part of Silent's team last game. So
Now, he could have banned it out, obviously, but had he done that, he would have left the Ganymede in.
Yep.
right, so it's kind of pick your
Pick
poison.
your poison, exactly.
You got it.
Both great monsters to ban.
But here he's effectively banned them along by choosing it himself in the lead pick, and now he can continue to ban the Ganymede and then leave himself up against the remaining 4 units. Still yet to be determined who Silent's last pick is going to be. Certainly could change Warrior Elixir's feelings on the matter.
When you're in Warrior Elixir's position, you're already thinking, okay, I need to fight these 4 monsters. What monsters do I need to bring to fight these 4 ones? You don't really care about the last pick. If the last pick changes your decision drastically, and it's not something that you really have a threat or worry about, then of course ban one of the other monsters that you already see. But overall, you're already looking at these first 4 monsters already thinking that you're going to ban that last one as it comes out.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, War Elixir gets the advantage of the first pick, but unfortunately, he cannot control what Silent does on the last pick here, so he definitely has to plan for those 4 first monsters, for sure.
And the 5th pick from Silent?
This situation, Theomars it's an okay pick. I'm not like super jumping for joy about it on Silent's end. I would still expect to see a Ganymede ban here, or maybe even a Iris ban.
Could potentially be. It looks like he went ahead and locked on. Yep. The Beset is banned, and of course we got Molong banned on War Elixir's side. Interesting choice, but again, this is a really contested unit. This will be interesting here.
Clay, you know War Elixir better than most. Is that ban from Silent on Molong perhaps the most crucial he could have made given War Elixir? Because it seemed like the pick was more predicated on blocking Silent from taking it than actually his desire to utilize it.
It could have been. I mean, War Elixir really likes to use Molong, so I don't think it's just for taking it away from Silent, although that is a strategy if he knows that Silent's if he likes
it. It was the pivotal unit last match, last game.
All right, it looks like Iris is up to go. Trying to work down CR so they can go ahead and try to reset from Ganymede. Did get the immunity off, the Seal of Magic is in, and is able to reset, reducing all those attack bars here, of course, with respect to Okeanos still having the immunity buff. But again, that's going to be able to really set back War Elixir, trying to take out one of the units right away. Looks like Silent's choice of the PMR starting to pay handy, getting that defense break in, but unfortunately, War Elixir jumps back here, 3 out of the 4 monsters stun. This could be a turn of events. Of course, it's still early on, but of course, if you can get that initial lockdown of the monsters, that can really, really give an advantage to Elixir.
So he's targeting the Theomars right now, which I don't typically agree with. I think he's got Perna. He's got to go after that Ganymede. Otherwise, Ganymede's going to be ripping through his team, resetting skills. He's now resetting the Okeanos, which on Silent's end, I don't think Okeanos was the right monster to reset because he already just used his skills.
Correct.
Of course, it gives it another round to go, but I would say maybe switching that to either Perna and then focusing down Perna. So a couple interesting choices from both players at this point. Of course, when you're in the midst of things, you're not always thinking from an outside perspective, but I would say if War Elixir can get the Ganymede down as quick as possible, that would give him the best option. So he does end up going with the Perna against Ganymede, and you can see the damage he provides to Ganymede there, which is extremely dangerous for Silent.
Yeah, I think it was a great choice. It could work on that Ganymede, sitting at 30% health. But of course, we got Iris here. Going to try to get some free stuns. 2 out of the 4 monsters are in, and of course, his passive is going to provide a little bit more heal on Ganymede to keep him alive. Of course, we got War Elixir that has to sit back. 2 of his main monsters that are going to be the damage dealers here were locked down. There is that pivotal last pick in there. Theo doing work, taking out that Ciara. Got the defense break on Okeanos. I definitely believe since Okeanos or Perna has that second life, going after that Okeanos is a great, great point here. Especially now we got the defense break. Might as well just take it out right away.
Yeah, War Elixir not looking too good. Able to get a reset on Ganymede though. I just don't think it's enough because that Okeanos is going down right now with that violent proc from Belgial. You can see War Elixir kind of tilting again just a little bit. He knows it may be over at this point, but Silent looking very strong still.
Looks like they're trying to get down that Perna once again. Got the buff removal on both Wusa and Perna. The immunity's out. Can we get some, unfortunate, no, we did not get any violent procs, unfortunately, here. So now Silent is going to go ahead and work down Perna, and rightfully so. That is the only damage dealing left. Wusa can do some numbers, but of course, again, his second skill based on max HP, the longer the fight goes, the less amount of damage he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, and all Silent has to do is finish off Perna one more time, and that'll be game over from there. And Silent will move on to face Tiger.
When was this game lost for War Elixir? In the draft?
That's a hard one to say. I mean, there was a couple of crucial components where we're getting some skills, units locked down and whatnot. So I don't know. Do you think it was part of the pick and ban pace? That's a hard one.
It was a little bit. I think War Elixir made a couple mistakes early on, depending on who he was focusing. I think if he put all the damage into Ganymede first off, it potentially could have worked in his favor. He could have got a couple violent procs, but fortunately it just wasn't the case. And Silent just had the better luck in this situation. Also, maybe the better play style as well.
Silent looking pretty dominant there as he takes a 2-0 victory in the round of 16 through to the quarterfinals, defeating War Elixir